Welcome to the biggest stage in world football, the FIFA World Cup 2026. The United States of America, one of the three co-hosts of this tournament, opened their Group D campaign against Paraguay at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. SoFi Stadium is an indoor multi-purpose arena with a capacity of 70,240, and it stands as one of the flagship venues for this edition of the World Cup. The atmosphere inside is expected to be electric, with an entire nation behind their team, and the pressure has rarely been higher for American football. Mauricio Pochettino's predicted starting 11 lines up as follows: Matt Freese in goal, Alex Freeman, Mark McKenzie, Tim Ream, and Anthony Robinson across the back four, Tyler Adams and Weston McKennie as the double pivot in central midfield, Serginho Dest on the right, Malik Tillman in a creative role behind, Christian Pulisic on the left, and Folarin Balogun leading the line up front. Captain Tim Ream is set to feature at center back, and at 38 years of age, if he plays, he will officially become the oldest outfield player ever to represent the United States at a men's FIFA World Cup. Crystal Palace center back Chris Richards remains a major doubt after tearing ankle ligaments in May and missing warm-up fixtures against Senegal and Germany. Paraguay's predicted 11 under Gustavo Alfaro lines up in a 4-2-3-1. Anthony Silva in goal, Jorge Moreira, Gustavo Gomez, Omar Alderete, and Fabian Balbuena at the back, Damian Bobadilla and Andres Cubas as the midfield double pivot, Diego Gomez, Julio Enciso, and Miguel Almiron in the creative band behind lone striker Antonio Sanabria. Sanabria was La Albiroja's top scorer during CONMEBOL qualifying with 4 goals and leads the attack, while captain Gustavo Gomez, who is finally appearing at a World Cup at his 4th attempt, marshals the defensive unit. The overall head-to-head record gives the USA the edge, with 4 wins, 2 draws, and 2 losses across all meetings. The most relevant result in recent history came in the 2016 Copa America group stage, when a Clint Dempsey goal gave the USA a 1-0 win on home soil, also played on American turf. At the World Cup specifically, these two sides have met only once before, back in 1930, and the USA won that encounter. The stakes this time are, of course, incomparably greater. Tactically, this is a fascinating contrast of philosophies. Pochettino has not settled on a fixed formation, having used a 3-4-3 in the fall 2025 window, then switched to a 4-2-3-1 against Belgium and a 4-3-3 against Portugal, 3 different shapes across 2 March games, which is not the sign of a team with a clear tactical identity heading into a home World Cup. What is clear, however, is the attacking intent. Robinson tucks inside as a left center back in possession, while Freeman and Dest push high to stretch the pitch, with Adams anchoring the midfield to provide the defensive screen that allows Pulisic, Balogun, and Tillman to operate freely in the final third. Paraguay under Alfaro play a 4-2-3-1 or 4-4-2. The plan is brutally simple. 2 banks of 4, no space between the lines, disrupt USA's build-up, and find Almiron on the counterattack. Paraguay arrived at this tournament having gone unbeaten in 8 matches, including historic wins over Brazil, Argentina, and Uruguay during CONMEBOL qualifying. They gave up just 14 goals across all 18 qualifying matches, a figure that tells you everything about who they are as a team. The key players in this match are headlined, on the USA side, by Christian Pulisic. Pulisic starts on the left despite a difficult club season with AC Milan since December, but his form for the national team has generally been better than his club numbers suggest. He is the top scorer in the USA squad with 33 international goals, and his ability to receive on the half-turn and drive directly at defensive blocks could be the decisive factor. Folarin Balogun is equally dangerous. He was outstanding in League One with Monaco in the second half of the season and arrives in the kind of form that makes him a threat against any backline. For Paraguay, the eye inevitably falls on Miguel Almiron. When Paraguay win the ball and Almiron has a 30-yard run at an exposed fullback, He is as dangerous as anyone in this group. In terms of strengths and weaknesses, the USA boast home crowd energy, individual European-level quality in the final third, and pressing intensity in a system designed to suffocate opponents high up the pitch. However, the right side of their defense is unsettled, with Dest and Timothy Weah competing for the role, and whoever plays there is more liable to get caught if McKennie pushes too far forward. The USA have also underperformed from set pieces during Pochettino's tenure, which is a concern given Paraguay's aerial threats. Paraguay's greatest strength is their defensive solidarity and counter-attacking pace. Their weakness, however, is creating goals. They scored only 6 goals across 6 qualifying matches in the final phase. The model prices USA at approximately 55% to win in regulation, with Paraguay at 23% and a draw probability sitting at around 22%. On the World Cup stage historically, the United States are making their 12th appearance at this tournament. Their best run came in 2002 when they reached the quarterfinals, though they have reached the knockout stage in each of their last 3 World Cup appearances. In 1994, when the USA previously hosted, they were spared qualifying and reached the round of 16 before a narrow defeat to eventual champions, Brazil. Paraguay, on the other hand, are making their 9th World Cup appearance, having last featured in 2010. Their best performance came in that edition, when they reached the quarterfinals before losing to Spain, and they previously reached the second round in 1986, 1998, and 2002. The prediction here is a USA win, but not a comfortable one. This match has the makings of a 1-0 scoreline that feels uncomfortable for 70 minutes, with Paraguay sitting deep, absorbing pressure, and waiting for their moment. The decisive breakthrough will most likely come from Pulisic or Balogun in the second half when the game opens up. The home crowd at SoFi will be the 12th man, and the USA's attacking depth, Haji Wright, Giovanni Reyna, and Ricardo Pepi waiting in reserve, gives Pochettino genuine options to change the game. Paraguay will make this hard. They always do. But on this stage, on this night, in front of a sold-out American stadium, the Stars and Stripes edge it. Predicted scoreline: USA 1-0 Paraguay.